Well, that's not so much what I'm talking about. What I mean is, if you need a true Xeon system, then you're probably doing one of the things we're talking about where you need terabytes of storage, in which case 8 terabytes ain't enough. You're like, where's my other 10 terabytes?
But again, the HP, when I was looking at the other model, the Mac Pro comes out of the gate with 1 terabyte, where the HP was at 320 gigs. So you can get 2 terabytes, 2, 4, 6, 8. If you want to go, I always go aftermarket when I buy Apple, but you could. It'd make it very expensive, in my opinion. I would always get them aftermarket, and for those 4 drive bays, the HP that I was looking at didn't even include graphics for its price.
Well, it's like, and you were saying the one you were looking at was ridiculously overpriced compared to if you actually just Google their site, you'll find it's like there's half the price for a comparable machine.
Apple will always lose if somebody built their own. But I mean, so will HP and so will Dell. So if we're saying, if the argument is, well, yeah, build your own, I'm not going to disagree.
Well, no, it's like, and this market in general, I'm saying, honestly, if you need a machine like this and you want to buy from something, don't go to any of the OEMs. Go to a small OEM that specializes in custom builds, or go to a computer store that specializes in custom builds, or yada yada and so forth. If you don't want to do it yourself, because what those places will charge you, instead of full markup on every single part, they'll charge you $300 to $500 assembly fee, which you get so much more bang for your buck. If something's wrong, you take it right back to that store, or to that person, or to that little custom shop, or whatever it is. That's really where you want to go if you want to get these machines. And most of the people I know who are doing this stuff, where they need a machine like this, unless they're just diehard Apple loyals, that's what they tend to buy. The point I was getting on for the comparison there is, the downside I'm seeing with the Mac Pro is, with every one of these machines, you need to add $700 to begin to do a PC to Apple comparison.
Okay, but I mean, with this computer we're looking at, it doesn't even give you the option to add the additional CPU. It's still a single CPU, so I've scrolled up and down, and I can't add the second CPU, so I have to go back to my original HP, because it doesn't...
Well, and I wasn't planning to pull out HP. I wish I'd bookmarked what the actual page was for the comparable HP machine, because I'm not even sure it's the Z800 anymore, to be quite honest. I know that's the machine Apple people always look at because it's Mac-like. But
it certainly comes with a case that's... I know HP advertises their new fancy cases. I mean, it would be the RAID card, fine. I know it doesn't have the RAID controller in there, but man, I am surprised that HP even sells that thing without a graphics card. I think you're going to find a negative with any OEM on this. I mean, people want to talk hardware. I still think Apple in the Pro lines has always been very competitive. Every OEM will lose, though, to building your own, and I think it's great now. But that's Intel. Intel's made it to where custom builders can build their own servers now. I mean, building servers was not as prevalent, back in the day.
Well, no, and honestly, the thing that was always the rub here when you needed to build a system like this, which went away in the last 12 months, was when you needed to build a system like this, you were sticking a motherboard intended for a server in what isn't a server. It's a server-like machine, but it's a server for personal use, which is an entirely different animal. What you really needed were motherboards that are basically a powerhouse gaming board intended for end user, made to use server parts, to be an in-house workstation board. And they now sell those boards. The one I like most of the ones I've seen is the EVGA board.
Right.
which I don't know if I sent you a link to that a while back or whatever. I mean, it's
You might have. You might have.
I mean, it's $600. It supports the 50. It supports the 5000 series 6 cores. I would prefer it have 10 onboard serial ATA ports, but instead what they did was they put 8 on board, 6 of which are a RAID array, 2 of which are next gen serial ATA, and it has USB 3.0 at the side, and they set it up so you have 7 expansion slots,
Sure.
as opposed to 5. And honestly, and with onboard sound and everything else, that with a decent workstation card, that it's just you'll just add GPUs to that system and put 7 good GPU cards in there, and you will get so much more bang out of that board than buying the Mac. And rather you build it yourself or pay the fee to have somebody else build it for you. It's again, this goes back to me complaining a little bit about the Mac. It's just
that's not just Mac. It's HP. It's Dell. So the thing is,
it's this machine in general. No matter who's selling it, whether it's Apple, PC, Dell, this is a machine that I've never understood why they sell it, because because I'm not just bashing on Apple. I'm bashing on this type of machine in general, because the people who need this machine don't need this machine. They need a custom built with an admin fee, or are they going to build it themselves? And the people who aren't going to be looking for that kind of bang for buck and a workhouse machine that actually does this job are the people who just want to spend money and pretend to be a pro.
Let me say this. It's a main issue that I have. Whoever states it, whether it's articles or YouTube videos, what have you, is that many times people come out of the gate and they're already on the side of building your own. I'm on that side.
Yeah, we're both on that side.
and the debate is then the fulcrum of the debate then is using the standard build your own versus OEMs. But the truth of the matter is that I actually, all the tech people that I know, very few of them want to even build their own. I have yet to even meet one business that deploys build your own. It's either HP, it's Dell. Now, granted, the only shops that I've seen Macs in have been like little art graphic design type shops. So I've seen like lots of IBM houses, lots of Dell houses, lots of HP, and you talk to them, well, hey, you can do it for $600 less on a computer. They just laugh at you. They don't care. They want the company wants like a spec model. The IT guys at deploy love these cases that a lot of us complaining. A lot of these debates talk about how ease of use, because they look at the machine and say, labor time in upgrading RAM takes me 10 minutes on this machine, but if it's on this custom case over here that's not quite as easy, and so on and so forth, then it's going to increase my labor time.
That's the other thing. I haven't gone looking to buy these machines for a while, but there are OEMs that do this. The other thing is hard drives. One thing I've never understood on the Mac Pro, because like I always find it funny how fanboys try and convince you on the Mac Pro. It's like, look how easy it is to swap these hard drives. And I'm like, easy. I have to take the side of the case off. I have to take the hard drive out. I have to take the little special connectors off of it, the little special adapter off the back, put all that stuff on a new hard drive, then slide that in, then put the side of the case back on. Honestly, if
you do have a brace that you have to screw on.
Yeah, and which defeats the whole purpose of that.
Well, I have a lot of there are like the HP cases that have the same molds, but there's got these like rubber guards on it.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Too, and it slides in and out. I mean, it's kind of the same principle. The memory though in the old G5s was a pain in the ass to switch. You actually had to move the whole fan unit and to even get the memory. But now, I mean, the new ones running the riser cards, those are fairly easy to swap out. But I mean, in other computers that I've been in, with the hard drives, if I really technically want to swap a hard drive out, usually I have those trays with the rubber guards. I pull it out, have to unscrew the rubber guard, put the in, and then put another hard drive in with rubber guards, and then slide it back in, which is essentially the Mac Pro.
Well, no. That's the thing. The best solution I've ever seen for if you're in a place where you're swapping hard drives left and right, and I've been in places like that, where it's like, okay, it's time to replace all the half terabyte drives with terabytes. It's time to replace all the terabyte drives with 2 terabytes because they've gotten cheap enough now. We need more storage, damn it. If you're in one of those places, honestly, the first thing you do on every machine with the RAID arrays is you do something that is impossible to do on the Mac Pro, and that is you dedicate those 5.5-inch bays in the front of the computer to being 3.5-inch hot swap hard drive bays for the RAID arrays. You get those little, they're like $50, and they take 3 5.5-inch CD bays, turn them into 4 3.5-inch hard drive bays, and they are true hot swap. All the wires are in the back, power sun, everything else, and the hard drive is you push a button on the front, rip the drive out, stick the new drive in, slam the front slots on. If you're in a place where you need that, that's what you need.
Yes, but even like I'm looking at the HP, they don't give you an option with that many. Let's see.
Now, I don't know a single OEM unless it's a niche market. There are some niche market OEMs that offer that, but that's an after fact thing on almost everything. The requirement for that, though, is you have to have 5.5-inch bays in the front of the machine, which PCs have, Macs don't, because they're going for that streamlined case. So that's an aftermarket mod that has been made impossible for this machine without taking a saw tip. Say that again?
I used to Mac. The old Macs and drilling new holes in there and busting cases. It's called the Frankentosh crowd. But not so much anymore. It was a lot during the power CPU.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you're talking about labor. It's like, what's the labor to punch out 5 plastic things in the front of the machine versus the labor to cut holes in the front of the Mac Pro? It's like, wait a minute, we just spent $5 grand on this machine. Why are you taking a saw to it? Because it needs more stuff.